Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a parent, a guardian, or an educator, consider this an absolutely urgent briefing. We are literally stepping into an entirely new technological era, and the rules of engagement, well, they're being written in real time. As your guide and advisor today, my goal is to equip you with a concrete, source-backed playbook for navigating artificial intelligence right in your own home. We aren't just going to sit here and talk about the technology abstractly. We're going to break down real, actionable strategies for monitoring and guiding your kids through it, directly informed by the experts who are leading the charge in AI education. Section 1. The new AI reality. Understanding now. Okay, let's dive into this new reality. Because, to figure out where we're going, we first have to understand exactly where we are right now. 1 in 5. According to Alex Kotran, the CEO of a U.S. nonprofit totally focused on AI education, 1 in 5 students in the United States already has an AI companion. I really want that to sink in for a second. We so often talk about artificial intelligence as this kind of, future problem, right? Like something to worry about way down the line when the kids hit the workforce. But the reality is, this isn't a future problem at all. It's in their pockets, it's on their screens, and it is part of their daily routines right now. And the sheer scale of this engagement is honestly staggering. Think about it. We spent years agonizing over social media algorithms, but the data shows that the average user on Character AI, which is a platform where users just converse with AI chatbots, actually spends more time there than they do on TikTok. We're talking an average of 2 hours a day. 2 hours of direct one-on-one conversation with a machine. That is a massive, fundamental shift in how young minds are spending their developmental time. And it's not just some passing entertainment trend either. As Kotran points out, this technology is a core shift in the very fabric of our society. This is going to transform the world, and specifically, it's going to transform your kids' jobs, the way they learn, the way they work, the way they solve everyday problems. It's all going to be mediated by AI. Ignoring it just isn't an option anymore. Preparing for it is an absolute necessity. Section 2. The persuasion problem. AI's convincing power. Which brings us to a really critical hurdle we have to clear as parents and advisors to this next generation. When Kotran's organization actually evaluates these AI models, they find a distinct, really unprecedented risk. Almost the best compared to any of the benchmarks is persuasion. AI is very, very good at persuading people to think a certain way. Think about that from a child's perspective for a minute. When a machine makes a mistake, when it literally hallucinates a fact out of thin air, it doesn't stutter. It doesn't look unsure or nervous. It presents that falsehood with absolute, highly convincing confidence. The psychological risk to a young mind, which is just naturally trusting to begin with, is immense. Section 3. The 13 and older rule. Setting boundaries. So how in the world do we actually mitigate this? Let's transition into the solution phase of our playbook, starting with a super clear, expert-recommended baseline. The crucial point here is this. Generative AI, the technology that automatically creates text, images, audio, and video, was largely designed targeting users aged 13 and older, which means it's definitely not built for a 9-year-old asking it to do their math homework. However, it is rapidly spreading to those younger, elementary-aged groups. Kotran's guidance is incredibly clear here, because we really truly do not understand the long-term implications for younger, highly impressionable groups. Parents must be proactive. The general consensus for when kids should start actively using generative AI, not until late middle school or early high school. You really want to aim for that 13 to 14 age bracket. Establishing that boundary is going to be your very first line of defense. Section 4. Critical AI thinking, guiding the next gen. Now, once they do reach that age, simply handing over the technology and walking away just isn't enough. We have to move to the next step. And I want to pause here for a moment. How do we protect them while still guiding their curiosity? This is the central challenge of modern parenting, isn't it? You can't just ban everything, but you definitely can't leave them unguided in the digital wilderness either. The goal here isn't to create fear. The goal is building a fortified, critical mind. To do that, I'm handing you the literal script you need. This home AI discussion guide is pulled directly from the educational frameworks that are being deployed in schools right now. Print this out, put it right on your fridge, and use it. When your child brings you something in AI generated, just walk them through these questions. Number 1, was fact-checking actually done? Number 2, what risks are involved if this information happens to be wrong? Number 3, why is the AI saying that? Like, what data might it be pulling from? And finally, the most important question for combating that persuasion problem we talked about earlier. Should I actually think that? By asking these questions, you strip the AI of its magic and reveal it for what it is, a tool that needs to be scrutinized. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact progression we want to see in our kids. Step 1, they understand that AI has limitations and risks. It isn't some all-knowing oracle. Step 2, they develop a critical instinct. So when the AI speaks, their first reaction isn't blind trust, but a really healthy skepticism. And step 3, they habitually fact-check the outputs. This framework doesn't just protect them from AI misinformation today, it builds the exact critical thinking skills they're going to need for the rest of their lives.
Section 5. Guiding the next generation. A broader picture.
Now, let's zoom out from our own living rooms for a second and look at the broader picture. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all this, I want you to hear this number and take a deep breath. Over 1 million. That is the estimated number of students in the US alone who utilized this specific AI education curriculum last year, stretching all the way from elementary through high school. And get this, the materials are even available globally in both English and Japanese. So you are definitely not alone in this fight. There is a massive growing movement of educators and experts building the tools we all need to raise a truly AI-literate generation.
But, as Kotran strongly argues, just having these tools out there in the world isn't enough. The responsibility ultimately falls on us. Adults absolutely must proactively build the infrastructure, provide the guidance, and foster safe curiosity within our own households. The education system can only do so much, right? We have to ensure that when our kids come home, they are entering an environment where technology is discussed openly, questioned critically, and used responsibly.
Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought to end our explainer today. Is your household truly equipped with the curiosity and guidance needed for this new AI era? Because you now have the playbook. You know the very real risks of AI persuasion, you have the 13 and older guideline, and you have the exact questions to ask your kids to spark that critical thinking at home. The technology is already here, sitting right in their pockets. The only question now is, what are you going to do about it today?